Hi everyone, I'm Nikita and you're watching Prepfully's Amazon Product Manager Interview Guide. At the end of this video, you should have a good understanding of the process itself, what the interviewers look for, and a bunch of tips around how to prepare yourself for it. In this regard, Prepfully offers mock interviews with someone who's worked at your target company and role. We also offer interview guides, interview questions and answers, and packages. Alright then, let's get started. The interview process consists of 3 stages. The first is a call from an HR recruiter. This is followed by a phone screen, and then finally you have the onsite round. A take-home assignment or exercise, which is essentially an essay of about 2-3 pages, is also included in the interview. Let's have a look at round 1. A phone call from an HR recruiter is the first step in this process. They want to make sure that you have a shot at getting the job, so be prepared to talk about your past experiences and why you're a good match at Amazon. They will then assist in the scheduling of the initial interview, which will take place virtually. In this interview, the recruiter is trying to get an understanding of your past experience, your expectations from the job, and your willingness to adapt to the workplace culture. A couple of sample questions, which are quite standard, would be, tell me about yourself, and why are you applying to Amazon? It would help a lot to have these prepared in advance. Next up is round 2. Senior members of the product team, including the hiring manager in charge, will usually conduct interview sessions over the phone. The aim of these discussions is to ensure that you have the necessary credentials for the job. Behavioral and situational questions are likely to be asked. Be sure to share your knowledge of Amazon's leadership principles while addressing even the most basic questions. In this round, the interviewer wants to make sure that you're aware of the role that you've applied for. From a product perspective, they also want to assess your ability to come up with solutions quickly. A couple of tips that will help you out with this round. First, it's all about Amazon's leadership principles. The most important thing to do while preparing for this interview is to do extensive research on the principles and to know when and where to bring them up. You should be able to include at least 2 examples to back up why you embody each leadership philosophy. The second tip is that you try to use the STAR method with situational questions, which expanded stands for situation, task, action, and result. We've noticed that this works quite well. In this setting, you can first provide some background on the situation you were in. Then you mention what you did to fix it. And after that, you walk through the steps you took. And finally, what the outcomes of your actions were. A few of our candidates who prepared at Prepfully reported 2 particularly challenging questions during this round. The first was, tell me about a time when you declined a customer request and why you did so. And the second was, describe a time when you had to make a critical decision without consulting your boss. A good performance in the product screen comes with quality practice. Once you've read up on the relevant stuff, book a mock interview with one of Prepfully's Amazon experts. Link in the description below. Once you get through the phone screen, you face Amazon's famous writing task. This is when you will be asked to write a 1 to 2 page essay in preparation for your on-site interview. Subjects can be like, what is the most creative project you've worked on? Or talk about an experience in which you were able to make your customer's life easier. It's important to note that whether or not it's specified in the assignment guidelines, interviewers will be looking at how your essay ties back to leadership principles. The last and final stage is the on-site round. This is a full day spent at one of Amazon's offices, where you'll typically have 6 to 7 interviews. These one-on-one interviews will last about 1 hour each and will include multiple people from the team you're applying for, such as colleagues, the recruiting manager, and a senior executive. During the interview, each interviewer is normally given 2 or 3 leadership principles to test you on. In the selection process, each of these interviewers is given equal weight, except for the bar raiser. The bar raiser interview is an extremely important and unique process at Amazon. An interviewer from a different business unit than the one you're applying for is referred to as a bar raiser. These interviewers are not affiliated with the team for which you're applying, and they're more concerned with overall applicant quality than with particular team requirements. They receive specialized training to ensure that Amazon's hiring standards remain strong and do not deteriorate over time, and they serve as a significant barrier between you and the work offer. The bar raiser will play a key role in the final decision. The onsite round, similar to the phone screen, focuses heavily on determining whether or not you live and breathe the company's 4 leadership principles. Make sure to really drill down on 3 of the most important ones. First, customer obsession. Second, bias for action. And third, ownership. Interviewers want to see if you're aware of the implications of each decision on the consumer experience. Not only do you need to know who the client is and what their underlying needs are, you should also know who the customer is and what their underlying needs are. A couple of tips for this round. First, Amazon prefers to learn by doing and measuring rather than lengthy research, and this is because they want to ship quickly. As a result, you should be able to demonstrate that you're willing to take calculated risks to move things forward. The second thing you should be aware of is that at some point, a couple of managers will disagree with you, regardless of whether your answer is correct. They do this to see if you can question ideas and escalate issues to senior management when necessary. At the same time, they want to know that regardless of your disagreement, you know when it's time to move forward. As a result, you should be able to demonstrate this in your responses. That's all for the final round. If you do well in the onsite, but the team is still a little hesitant, you will move on to the team matching stage, where you talk with recruiting managers from other teams. These post-onsite questions are likely to be more relaxed. To be secure, brush up on Amazon's leadership values again, and have stories to share about how you represent them. Well, that's all for this interview guide. We really hope it helps you, and we highly encourage you to reach out to us for mock interviews with Amazon product managers, who will take you as close as you can get to a real interview. If you liked this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. Thanks!
Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, please subscribe. Our website is prepfully.com. We've got lots of interview questions there. You can also schedule a mock interview with one of our experts. You can find the link in the description below. And we hope you totally rock your interview.